Yo, what's up, guys? I know we all can't wait to get into the game and start killing stuff, but as a way to sort of kill time, I've been preparing a bit of a game plan. It's nothing crazy, it's not some secret god mode build or any of that kind of bullshit, but it's just random game knowledge that I thought I'd make a quick video out of and see what you guys think. Now, I have finally decided that I'm going to be playing Diablo 4 in hardcore mode as a necromancer. But guess what? Necromancers are so slow. They are the only class with no mobility skill, so moving around in the open world and through dungeons is so much slower than every other class, and those seconds add up a lot. Look, I'm not trying to be world first, level 100 or something like that, but I've got the skills to be near the front and be one of the first necros to, finish the story or do something cool. If I want to be one of those front runners, though, I need to be prepared. That basically means making efficient and effective use of my time wherever I go, whether it's to town or if I'm wandering around the map. I need to be planning what I can and being one step ahead of the competition. And obviously, the map part only really applies to Fractured Peaks, since that's the only map we can prepare for. And since we've spent so much time there already on multiple characters, we kind of know the zone pretty well. And I just want to get what I need from there, finish the story part, and get out of there and move on to one of the new zones and kind of just start exploring. So what do I mean when I'm talking about efficiency? When we hit a key level here, level 1, okay, level 10, level 20, level 30, we can upgrade our main healing potion. We want to make sure we have these requirements. So when we go back to town, we can upgrade this. At the same time, we want to be crafting elixirs. So when I'm level 5 and I make it to the first city, I want to make sure I have these requirements, because you want to get an elixir going as soon as you can. It's bonus experience and it's bonus protection, the early one especially. So this is great for early on. It lets us be more aggressive in hardcore, and it makes us level up quicker, so what's not to like? But I need to make sure I have these requirements. I don't want to be spending gold to craft these requirements. Now that's another thing I'll touch on here in a second, but these key levels here, 10, 20, 30, 45, etc., you want to go back and make sure you're upgrading your potion. This is a hardcore playthrough. Doesn't matter as much in normal, nearly as much. But in hardcore, we need every little bit we can get to keep us alive, right? We don't know what's coming. So this is key. This is step number 1. I need to make sure I'm always on top of my potion game. To go back down to the elixirs here, not only do we want weak iron barb elixirs, but we ideally would have one of each resistance in our inventory as well. This will take some time to get. Of course, you're not going to get them when you first show up to town, but as we go back at level 20, level 30, whatever it is, to upgrade our health potion, we want to have these resources and at least have one of those on us. This will help protect us in case we suddenly run into a boss that is lightning, a boss that is fire. I'm sure the act bosses at the end are different elements. They typically are. I'm sure bosses throughout the different environments will have different elements. So we want one of these at least at all times on us, and we got to make sure we have the requirements for them. Now, scrolling down from that, you can craft and refine some of these resources into other resources, right? But we don't want to do that ideally. It's a gold sink. You're paying gold for your inefficiencies, and gold is going to be critical in Diablo 4. You use gold for so many different things. Respeccing your skill points, upgrading your armor, upgrading your weapons, upgrading your gems, changing the affixes on your items, all kinds of stuff, repairing your items. So any place where we can save gold early on, it could be an extra upgrade or something later on that we need. So we want to be gold efficient as well. So a big part of being efficient with our gold and our resources is because we are on hardcore mode. On a softcore character, let's say you get a sick level 20 sword. Okay, this thing's badass. Do you really need to upgrade it? because in 2 hours you're going to be level 30. Okay? And if you die in between level 20 and level 30, nobody cares. It doesn't matter. So you spending the gold and resources early on to upgrade that item is kind of a waste. Yes, it might help you level quicker and stuff like that, but in most cases, maybe the weapon you upgrade, but your armor and shit, you're almost never going to bother. So that's the big difference between softcore and hardcore. In hardcore mode, you have to make these decisions constantly. Do you have an item that is really good? Should you upgrade it now? Or are you going to need that 15,000 gold and those resources later? In hardcore, you're basically constantly trying to determine the power of your character. Any gold that you save early on is gold that you can spend later when you might be needing that power spike, when you might be actually needing those upgrades. Anyway, I think you get the point. Save gold when you can, be smart, don't put aspects on crappy weapons when you're going to upgrade the weapon in an hour, okay? Try and save as much as you can for later on in the game. Be greedy, but not too greedy, okay? All right, so the next piece of the puzzle is dungeon locations. You got to figure out, hey, this is the build I kind of like. These are the aspects I kind of need. They're from dungeons. Where the hell are those dungeons? If they're in Fractured Peaks, you want to make sure you get them done, right? You don't want to be in one of the brand new areas and be like, fuck, I got to go back to whatever, Dead Man's Dredge in order to get an aspect that I need for my build. So scout out your aspects, find out what you like that are, remember, you can use these on any of your gear, right? Once you get them. So they're extremely powerful early on. For example, I need Hoarfrost Demise. Blood-bathed aspect for the Necromancer, that's what I need. I got to make sure that when I'm up here for the story mode quest, that I stop over here and get this done. I'll be right beside it. There's no excuse, right? And then I know that I've secured a powerful part of my build. I can skip a lot of these for now. Obviously, in the future, I want to do all of them. I want to do every single dungeon. But for now, we're trying to just be efficient, and we're kind of sick of this zone. So I don't want to have to come back for anything. It's worth noting as well that a lot of the other dungeons in zones that we haven't obviously seen yet, and we don't have a map or anything like that, but you can see which aspects come from which dungeon. And again, if you kind of know your build, you just want to take note of certain things. Like Betrayer's Row is one that I definitely want to do in the Dry Steppes. Let's say that the game opens up a bit and you can kind of choose which zone you want to go into next. And you know that in the Dry Steppes, that there's 3 aspects that you really kind of want, then maybe I would rather go to the Dry Steppes than to, one of the other zones that, Skosglen, there is nothing for you there. So if there's a choice, you'll already know, well, this is where I want to go next. This is what's best for my character. Another really important thing to touch on is the Murring Ovals that you find throughout the world by doing special local events, those little orange circles that pop up, or if you do the shrines within dungeons and stuff like that. These things are amazing. So first of all, again, efficiency. We want to make sure that we don't go over the cap. I think the cap starts at 500, but you can actually increase that as you raise your renown level within the different zones. So we don't want to get near the cap, but what I use these for mainly, especially while leveling up, and here's the prices for them all the different items and stuff, I always keep a couple keys on me because the silent chests can be very good. I think they were bugged in the server slam. They were giving no loot at all, but in the previous betas, I was getting 2 rares and a blue from it or something. I think I even got some legendaries. So anyway, I keep a couple keys on me at all times, but if one of my pieces of gear starts to fall behind, this is what I'm filling it with. I've gone back to town, I'm level 35, and I still have level 26 boots, and they're kind of junky. Well, I'll gamble 100 obols and take a shot at some boots. And sometimes, pretty much every time, I've either got a rare that's okay, this is now a up to my level rare. It's better than what I was wearing for sure. Or I've seen to have just crazy luck where I roll 5 times on something, I get a legendary. Anyway, Moral of the story, utilize your obols. Don't let them cap out. It's going to suck to do an event and the obols are on the ground. You can't pick them up and you could have had a legendary item instead. So again, when we're in town, we need to check our obol levels. Make sure if there's any big gap in our gear that we try and fill it with this. Spend a couple hundred, whatever, move on. It's fun and it's exciting. I mean, the whole fucking game is for loot chasing, and I mean, you just get to gamble on loot, so why not? But, oh, and yeah, keep a couple keys. Always a couple keys. Other than that, we're good to go. Last step to kind of wrap this whole thing up. I don't want it to be a crazy long video like the last one, but god damn, this site has a lot of ads. Holy shit. Anyway, last point I'm trying to make. If you have any class-specific quests, you could try and look them up ahead of time and see what information about them that you can find out. You don't want to spoil yourself, probably. I mean, some people don't give a shit, but I wouldn't want to spoil myself. I've kind of just looked at the Necromancer one. Okay, cool, this is how I get a golem, but even that, I don't really want to read through it. It's not a big deal. You'll see it on the map, you'll go do it. But yeah, basically, I'm just kind of looking at all these different little things, kind of getting them in my head, being prepared, and that's it really. So if you got any tips for me, I'd love to hear them. As always, if you have any feedback for the video, let me know. I'm going to be posting a video every day once the game launches, kind of summarizing my daily experience on hardcore mode, see if I survive or not. Yeah, we're going to go from there. And for everybody else that's still watching this, I really appreciate the support so far. It's been a pretty interesting experience starting on YouTube. I've had a lot of nice people comment and give some feedback and start some discussions on the various things that I post the videos about. So thank you for that. And the subs, of course, that's amazing. It's really cool. So thanks so much, and thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.